Hello, I am Jamaluddin. I am a consciousness researcher trying to understand consciousness through ancient wisdom and comparing it with the neuroscience. Today we are going to see how can I make my thoughts clearer through ancient wisdom and compare it with neuroscience. I am a person who has been trying to understand what am I through spiritual scriptures. In my journey, I understood all spiritual scriptures are in fact teaching the science of consciousness. Most of the time, it is misunderstood as religion, and I've been trying to understand the origin of various scientific view of consciousness in ancient wisdom. So now I am trying to decipher the source of ancient wisdom throughout the world and how the ancient Egyptians made their mind in an awakened clarity. So if you look into the ancient Egyptian pantheon, the first thing they taught to every person in their centers like temples and the old awakening and wellness centers around the Egypt was how to avoid mind wandering. So one of the most important thing to achieve clarity in the mind is to avoid mind wandering. So mind wandering is a feature, it's a superpower actually for the mind to wander into anything infinitely. It can wander, there is no limit for it, but there is always energy required to wander in the mind. So they understood from the subjective experiences of a person that once you wander in your mind without a control, that is considered to be an ailment. But if you can control the mind wandering and explore the mind, its vastness, by being in control of the self, that is a superpower. That is why the ancient Egyptians deity called Seth. So Seth is as a very strong personality of personifying the feature of mind wandering. So Seth actually is the person who killed Osiris, who plucked the eye of Horus, and he is considered to be the destructive force. So why he is considered to be the destructive force? Because Seth is a personification of the ability of the mind to wander. So if you are wandering in your mind without control and without coherence, you will destroy your mind. But if you can make the Seth or your wandering in a coherent and in a ordered way, that is exploring the vastness of mind. So the concept of Seth is what became Shaitan in Satan in Abrahamic religions. So I strongly believe Islam, Christianity and Judaism are evolution of the ancient wisdom of Egypt, but they are totally misunderstood and it became a religion of today. So still, if you look into the root meaning of the Arabic word shaitan, which is shatanun, and the root meaning of the word is to move distant, to be far, and in the modern we can say to wander. So that is it is the same concept of Seth which got translated in through later generation and became shaitan. And when people misunderstood the inner meaning in the personification of Seth, it became a negative personality. So what we can understand from this wisdom is that the first ability that we should have proper control is we should control the mind wandering. So if you look further in Egyptian pantheons, every personality which they depicted in their literature will be holding the war scepter. The war scepter is the representation of a mind wandering in control. So what they represented was anything if you want to achieve in the mind, it is only possible if you have your mind wandering in control. So grounding yourself to the present moment, being in the present moment, thinking, being in the body is one of the highest quality of thoughts that we can have. So if you look into the neuroscience point of view, if you look into the brain waves, we can see that the brain waves which has too much movement of right and left, too much movement of incoherence between right and left or front and back, is actually considered mind wandering. So I have developed an application called mindfulness, where we see the brain waves according to the mind functions. We address the brain wave frequencies associated with our mind function. So we are able to decipher the frequency band associated with thought. So we can see, when we scan in the brain, we can see the thoughts wandering. So if the frequency band wave associated with thoughts is wandering too much right and left, and it has incoherence when you compare between the balance between right and left, it is considered to be mind wandering. So now let's look into the mind fitness report of a person who was going through severe mind wandering. So this is the mind fitness report, and this is a real-time brain wave graph for thinking. So once you look into the brain wave pattern, we can see that it was not having a coherent rhythm but very unstable rhythm. And once we check the percentage of wandering he was having during that assessment, it was 77%. It's a severely affected score. So because of the 77% of wandering and severe breach of order. So here we can see in the brain, in the mind, there is a order, actually order at which we should use our mind functions. That means you cannot overpower your thoughts above the power of your reasoning ability. If you overpower your thinking above the power of your reasoning and understanding, it becomes overthinking, because you are using the whole power in your mind to only to think, where you are squeezing your energy and ability to reason and understand coherently. So that is exactly what you can see here, where the thinking, because of mind wandering, the thinking is breaching the order. So because of that, is all mind abilities have been affected. So by understanding how much wandering is happening, how much breaching it is creating in the mind, we can come to a conclusion that how much percentage was efficient in a particular mind function. So in this case, the person is 34% efficient in thinking, and 40% in reasoning, and 41% in understanding. So by understanding, by looking into how much percentage he was in thinking, reasoning, and understanding, we can come to a conclusion of whether he is in calm state or he is in a stressed state. So definitely the person was 62% stressful because of his severe mind wandering and overthinking. So that is exactly what is we can make out from the mental health condition report as well. So once you have mind wandering, uncontrolled mind wandering, you will fall for overthinking, which will initiate anxieties, judgmental issues, etc., and which will affect your quality of life, and which will make the moment very stressful as well. So this is exactly the wisdom what is mentioned in the ancient Egyptians wisdom as well. So unless you can control your mind wandering and you make your mind wandering fully controlled, you cannot develop your next skills in the mind. You cannot develop your reasoning ability. You cannot develop your understanding ability. You cannot improve your calmness. So it will affect the whole working of your mind. So the first thing, as a person, to heal the mind, it should be avoiding mind wandering and learning how to think without wandering in mind by being coherent and grounded and stable in yourself. So in the practice of mindfulness, it is very important that we should always try to think by sensing ourselves and being aware of the self in the body. And when you keep your thoughts in yourself, where always you can sense your thoughts are in yourself, that is a coherent thinking. That is what gives you ability to reason, understand, and sense and feel better. And that way of thinking, by being in the body, by sensing yourself inside the body and being aware of your thought process, is what creates coherent thinking, and that is what gives you results as well. So I hope the video of how to coherently think is a insight by comparing the ancient wisdom and the neuroscience aspect of it. I hope this gives you an understanding of the working of the mind. If you are a person interested in exploring more wisdom and how to awaken yourself and how to awaken your consciousness, please follow the channel. And if you wish to get guidance, and if you are interested to have a one-on-one session with me, please message me and let me know your view about this particular way of approaching ancient wisdom and trying to understand consciousness in your comments. And thank you for being with me. We'll see you in the next video.